Hey everyone, welcome back to Calf and Canon. I'm Novakistan. Last week's video was just kind of a get my foot in the door situation, so this week's video, or today's video rather, will be more of a actual explanation as to what's going on. So to recap, I think we'll have a lot of fun here. We'll do some podcasty stuff, do some book review stuff, we'll do the occasional what's its and who dads that I have in my collection, just random conversations and things. So today's video is really just a deeper dive into what the book review stuff is going to be. So we're going to go through the old canon, or the Legends continuity, as well as the new canon, or as many like to call it, the Disney continuity. I just like to call it New Star Wars. The main focus here is to take a deep dive into the old canon and just have some fun, go down memory lane, and also just really do an honest-to-God analysis of these stories to see, were they really that good? Is all the fuss about the old canon being reset really that big of a deal? It's probably time to take the blinders of nostalgia off and really take a look at these things more analytically. So here's what the criteria for the old canon book reviews are going to be. 1, was the story any fun? If it's not fun, it's not really Star Wars, right? 2, favorite parts of the story, the favorite characters, favorite things that happened, etc. 3, parts that could have been excluded or non-favorite parts. 4, most unique part of the story. That really means something that the story added that was unique to Star Wars, or it was a unique point of view or something like that to tell the story. And 5, how did it fit into the continuity, and if applicable, could it still slot into the new canon, which I think is an interesting way to look at some of these old stories. We're going to do the same thing with the new continuity books. It's really time to showcase these stories and give credit where credit's due. I really think that the current landscape of the fandom is very much lacking still in appreciation for everything that was post the old canon wipe, as it were. So the criteria is basically going to be the same thing, but with a little bit of a tweak. We're still looking to see if the story was fun. We're still going to check out our favorite parts of the story. We're still looking at parts that could have been excluded or non-favorite parts. We're still looking for something unique. The fifth point, which will be different from the old canon stuff, number 5, if it has an old canon counterpart, how does it compare? I.e., and this will be kind of difficult, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but the new Thrawn trilogy versus the old Thrawn trilogy, which is not exactly the same stories at all, but that is something that we'll kind of go over. I'm going to be doing one-off books and trilogies and whole arcs, so yeah, well, eventually we're going to get to the Vong stuff, eventually we're going to do the Thrawn trilogy. But there's a lot of one-off books that really need recognition as well, for positive and negative reasons, I think. I also plan on showcasing some of the comics. There's a lot of good stories in there from the old and new canon as well. I don't know exactly the format. It'd probably be close to the book review format, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So we're going to need to kick the series off with something good, and I figure there's nothing better than James Luceno's Darth Plagueis. I think I've read this book, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, but I'm going to read it again. That's the caveat with this whole series, is that I'll be reading the books, or if I don't have the time to read, at least getting the audiobook version and going through it, taking notes, so I can actually have a full analytical idea of what's going on in the book and be able to share my thoughts and feelings. Before that May 25th review goes up, on the 19th, we're going to be doing the first podcast episode, which I'm tentatively calling Calf and Chat. We'll see how long that stays the title. My wife and I are going to be talking about the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, so we're going to be talking about, we just saw it in theaters, our thoughts and feelings, how it slots into the rest of the series, and we'll have some pretty good discussion questions to go with that, so I think that'll be a good time. I think that does it for today. I just wanted to make sure that I got out the whole kind of mission statement of the series, and honestly the whole channel was really just an excuse to blab about the old canon and the new canon, so I need to figure out how to shoot this podcast thing. I also need to start reading this book again, so I'm going to get going to do that. In the meantime, keep the calf brewing, may the force be with you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.